The Girl at the End of the Hall by HappyAppy123. It all started in March of 2007. I was living with my girlfriend when I was having these dreams. It was the night of March 15th, 2007 when the first dream occurred. It all started in a preschool, in a post-apocalyptic era. All I saw was a little girl in a 1980s nightgown staring at me. It was no ordinary little girl. Something different was with her. She seemed to have no eyes. All that replaces it was a black shadow. In her mouth, it drooled of black ooze. She moaned, and it sounded like she was having troubles breathing in. She twisted her head and gave out a piercing shriek, and she charged at me. My girlfriend, she quickly woke me up, and she looked at me with a concerned look upon her face. She asked me why I was struggling in my sleep. I said that I didn't know what happened, but I was afraid it would happen again. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of bacon, so I rose from my bed. I thought about what happened. I just shivered and continued onward. Later that night, I closed my eyes and ended up in the same location. She was face to face with me this time, and all she did was explain a date. September 15th, 1991. The next morning, I went to my computer and searched up the news articles from September 15th, 1991. There was one that caught my eye. The headline read, "Girl Found Dead in Her Sleep." I clicked on it and read along and found the name Anna Heitzman. The body was described as black shadows replacing where her eyes go, and black ooze from her mouth. She had slash marks along her neck. My girlfriend read it with me and began to cry, and asked me, who would do this to a young girl? She was just 5 years old. I looked at the screen appalled, and answered with a simple "I don't know." I'm going to find out why, though. It was the night of March 17th, 2007, when she began talking in a silent tone. She explained who did it and said it was me. I was in shock, and she tried to slash me. I screamed, and I woke up. My girlfriend was struggling in her sleep. I quickly shook her awake, but to no avail. She didn't awaken. She began to lift into the air, and her throat was randomly slit, and she looked at me with the same face of the little girl. She said, "I warned you. Now you must pay." She screamed and let my girlfriend go. I quickly called 911, and they arrived, and they asked me what happened. I said, "I woke up from a terrible nightmare when my girlfriend was struggling in her sleep. Her throat was cut mid-sleep." He laughed and told me to lay off the drugs. I looked at him and told him, "I'm drug-free, and I haven't had any in my life." I saw the little girl in the crowd of people. She stared at me, smiling. The next morning, I woke up and saw the little girl in my kitchen, and all of a sudden, the setting changed to an abandoned high school. She was staring at me from across a long hallway, with my girlfriend staring at me as well, but in a clear body bag. That's weird. Her eyes were bleeding, and her mouth was drooling blood. I turned around to see the wall melt. I looked back, and they were gone. The two of them appeared behind me and spun me to face them, and my girlfriend held me while the little girl began to cut my stomach. I screamed and woke up. When I looked down, there was a large wound on my stomach.